Let's now do question 7, November 2022, grade 11. I am Gaston Mapala right here at Meds with Gaston. This question is divided to other questions as well. Is divided into 8 questions from 7.1 up until 7.8. I am gonna take you through these questions, explaining everything step by step. You might want to watch this video until the end so that you don't miss anything when it comes to critical concept that you need to know. All right, great stuff. So what you see there, we have got a parabola. We are given a parabola here, which is the f of x. We don't know the equation. Probably they're going to ask us to find the equation, and therefore also we have got a straight line here that is passing this point here, which is 4 and 0, which is the y-intercept, and they also give us the x-intercept here of the parabola as well. It's stated here in the question. It says that the x-intercept is 1:0, and then also y-intercept is 3:0. Okay, no, another x-intercept 3:0, therefore y-intercept 0:4. D is the turning point. We don't know the values of the turning point, they didn't give them to us, so this one is the turning point. And then therefore also they say that the x-intercept of the straight line is -8:0. The graphs of f of x, they intersect at this value here of k, which is, they did give us the point of intersection, which is 0:4 as well. Okay, no, it's not this one. I'm making a mistake here, guys. It's not this point here. This point is not given. That's why I was a bit surprised. What is given to us is this one here of 0:4. So there's actually 3 points of intersection. There's this one, and then there's this one here, and then there's also that one that is on the y-intercept. All right, let's go to 7.1 said determine the equation of f in the form of y is equals to ax squared plus b plus x plus bx plus c. All right, okay, let's come here. 7.1 there's a general formula that says that y is equals to ax minus x1, which is the x-intercept, this one, x minus x2. Okay, both of these ones here that I'm highlighting it with a star, the star ones here, they are the x-intercepts. Okay, so do we have x-intercept in this case? Yes, we do have x-intercept. They are given here, so we can therefore substitute them. All right, let's go ahead. We still don't know what it is, but we know that because this is a smiling graph for a values. Okay, I will do that when we do the a. Come here, we are gonna -1 x minus 3. Okay, these are our intercept. So with this, with having this, we know that we have got we now have got x and a y there. So we just need to pick a point that is on the graph here, any point that is on the parabola graph. So I'm going to pick this one, which is the y-intercept, is the same as this one, which is the y-intercept. So when y is equals to 4, x is equals to 0 on the graph, so we're going to substitute that so that we found the value of e. Therefore we are expecting the value of a to be positive, because if a graph is smiling like that, it means a is greater than 0, and therefore if the graph is sad, therefore a is less than 0. Okay, so therefore let's substitute y is going to be equals to 4 is equals to a. We're looking for a, we don't know, and then x is going to be 0 minus 1, x 0 minus 3. Okay, having that, we are gonna multiply throughout here. Is going to be 4, and then therefore here is going to be -1 times -3 is going to be a minus 1 minus 3. Okay, -1 times -3 is going to give us +3. So therefore you are going to have 3a, so divided by 3 both sides, which gives us a value of 3 is equals to 4/3. as expected, A is positive. Therefore, we are gonna come here and say, our equation is going to be given by y. It's equals to 4 over 3. Okay, 4 over 3x minus 1 x minus 3. So we need to remove the bracket, multiply throughout by removing the bracket here. Okay, you guys already know how to remove the bracket. I'm going to write down here y. It's equals to 4 over 3, which is going to give us x squared minus 4x plus 3, straight away, plus 3. All right, so therefore you can multiply throughout by 4 over 3. Multiply throughout by 4 over 3 is going to give us x squared. 4 over 3x squared. 4 is going to give us minus 16 all over 3x. Therefore 4 over 3 times 3 is going to give us plus 4. And this is how you get this question in this format. Okay, now moving right along, let's move to 7.2. Determine the coordinates of D. Where is D? D, they've already said to us that D is the turning point. So in order for us to find the turning point here, 7.2, I hope I won't go out of the picture here. Then we'll use the equation. This one is on the formula sheet. Is going to be x is equals to minus b over 2a. So what is b in this case? B, it's negative 16 over 3. Come here and we're going to say, negative into negative 16. There's a negative here. Negative into negative 16 all over 3. All over 2a, it's 4 over 3, close bracket. If we punch this into our calculator, we should be able to get, let me check. We punch this into our calculator, x is going to be equals to 2. All right, therefore we substitute this into our equation on the f of x. F of x when x is equals to 2, what is okay, f of x is this one, guys, right here. So when it's equals to 2 is 4 over 3, 2 squared minus 16 all over 3, 2. Okay, therefore plus 4. And then therefore once we punch this into our calculator, we should be able to get, let me check what I'm getting. I'm getting negative 4 over 3. So therefore the coordinates of D, which is the turning point, would therefore be 2 is to negative 4 over 3. Okay, which kind of makes sense because right here at this point here, x is positive and therefore y is negative. All right. Okay, and that's how you would deal with 7.1 and 7.2. Let's move to 7.3. Okay, nicely, we already calculated the D here. Just in case we're going to need it, I'm just going to put it here, negative 4 over 3. Okay, and we know our equation. Our equation is given by f of x is equals to f of x is equals to 4 over 3 x squared minus 16 all over 3 x plus 4. There you go. Great stuff. So now let's have a look at equation 7.3. It says determine the equation of line P which is perpendicular to G passing through point D. Okay, so it means passing through point D perpendicular to, so perpendicular to G of x. So it means this line is right here. They say it is passing through D and is perpendicular to G. So it means here perpendicular, we know what it means, therefore it's at 90 degrees with that line, so it's passing through that point. So they want us to find the equation. It means this will be the equation of a straight line. So now on this straight line, when they say perpendicular, let me see. Okay, what do you have? We've got these 2 points here on the straight line, so I think we can use these 2 points to find the gradient. Okay, let's say this is 7 point. Okay, this is 7.3. Okay, so we have got -8 is to 0 at r, and therefore we also have got this point here, which is the y-intercept, so therefore 0 is to 4. So we can find the gradient of this between these 2 points, y2 minus y1. We're applying analytical geometry here. Minus x1 is equals to, so y2 will have to be this one, 4 minus 0 all over 0 minus into minus 8. Therefore our answer here will be 4 divided by a positive 8, which is going to give us half. All right, therefore because they said the equation of P, which is perpendicular to G, so if it's perpendicular, we know that the relationship of perpendicular gradient is given by line 1 multiplied by line 2. If they are perpendicular, we should be able to get -1. So therefore let's assume that this is line 1, so it's going to be half. So you need to multiply half. We need to get this equation gradient for line P, -1, so multiply by everything by 2 on both sides. Therefore M2, which is MP, let me rather say MP for line P, is going to be equals to -2. Okay, which is also M2 there. All right, so we have got this one is y is 2, which is the gradient of this line here. The gradient of the straight line was half, therefore because they are perpendicular, this one will have to be -2. Therefore it's passing through point D, so we can use point D to find the equation of P. All right, so we're gonna come here and said, okay, at D, these are the coordinates, therefore we need this equation here. I like this equation. This equation just made life easy when you have to find the equation of a straight line. Okay, y, substitute y there, is going to be negative into -4 over 3. Close. The gradient is -2x, so -2. Therefore y is going to be +4 over 3, which is equals to -2. I'm removing the bracket here, guys. -2x. Therefore -2 times -2 is going to give us +2 times 2 gives us 4. Okay, good stuff. So we come here, say y, I'm gonna take 4 over 3 to that side, -2x. -2x plus 4 is going to give us -4 over 3. Therefore our equation, after simplifying that fraction, 4 over 3 minus 4 minus 4 over 3, it's giving us a +8 over 3, and this will be the equation of P for 7.3. We had to apply a little bit of analytical geometry there, but that's not a train smash. We know that when they ask functions, they do ask sometimes some things that would include analytical geometry. Now they said 7.4 says calculate the size of R, K, angle R, or correct your answer to 2 decimal place. Okay, let's have a look. This is K here, that's K, but they're looking for R, so therefore this is R. So they said K R O, so it means that we are looking at this angle here. Okay, I'm just gonna mark it. Remember, this is the angle of, this is also known as the angle of, this is also known as the angle of inclination. What is the angle of inclination, guys? Don't forget the basics. I always say, if you know the basics, you shouldn't have a problem. Angle of inclination is the angle that a line forms with the x-axis. So if this is your x-axis, is the angle that this line, which happens to be the line of G, is forming with the x-axis. So that's why I'm saying I'm confident that this is the angle there. So now, if we know the gradient here, remember that relationship that on analytical geometry of saying the gradient is equals to tan angle of inclination. All right, so we know the gradient of G, which is equals to half. Therefore, we just have to find this angle of inclination here. Therefore, we're gonna go to our calculator and do shift, which is shift second function 0.5, which is that half there. All right, so if we do that in our calculator, we should be able to reach answer of 26.57 degrees. Okay, and that's how you would deal with a question like this one, guys, where you are given you look for the gradient and then you look for the angle of inclination. I know what you guys thinking, where did I find this half? I didn't have to calculate it because we already found this the gradient of this straight line of G in this previous example here. All right, great stuff. So let's move right along to 7.5. we have to look for the coordinates of K. All right, so K in this case will occur when the two equations are equal to each other, because this is the point of intersection. All right, okay, let's move right along. Okay, with that said, what you can do here, 7.5, actually the equation of f of x is given by, we have already calculated the equation of f of x is given by 4 over 3x squared minus 1/6 all over 3x plus 4. Okay, now the equation of G, we have not calculated the equation of G, but we calculated the equation that is perpendicular to that. We already know the gradient of G, so therefore it should be easy to just write the equation of G straight away. The gradient is a half x, and therefore our y-intercept on this graph is 4. And that's it. And that's how you deal with this one. So now we are gonna come here and say, okay, if that's the case, therefore at point K, these two graphs are equal to each other. So it's going to be f of x is equal to g of x. All right, f of x is 4 over 3 x squared minus 1 over 6 divided by 3x plus 4 is equal to half x plus 4. Okay, there you go. So having that, what we can do now is to let me see what we can do here. What we can do now, we can simplify further. I can take everything to the other side here, take half this side, and then also take 4 that side. Okay, it's 4 over 3 x squared minus 1 over 6 minus 16 over 3x. Therefore we have got minus 1 over 2 plus 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. I took all these things to that side. Okay, 4 over 3 x squared. Okay, when we minus the two fractions here, 16 over 2 also minus half. 16 over 3 minus half is going to give us minus 35. Guys, you can put this directly into your calculator to make life easy for yourself. It's going to give us 35 all over 6, because now your calculator can deal with this one. Minus 4 plus 4 is going to be that equals to 0. And then when we're here, we can take out the common factor. Common factor here, it's x. 4 over 3x minus 35 divided by 6, close bracket, is equals to 0. Therefore, we're going to have 2 points here where x is equals to 0, or 4 over 3x is equal to 35 over 6. Okay, therefore we multiply both sides by 3 over 4, multiply both sides by 3 over 4, or divide by 3 over 4. The answer will still be the same, guys. All right, therefore this and that will cancel out. You're left with x. If you put this in a calculator, 35 divided by 6 multiplied by 3 over 4, it gives me an answer of 5 divided by 8. Okay, so therefore we already know that one point is 0, so 0 would be this point here, and therefore x 35 over 8, it will be this point here. So 35 over 8 is this point here. Therefore we are now looking for the y. You know what to do when we look for the y. When we look for the y, we're just gonna choose one equation and substitute the y into that equation. So I'm gonna choose the equation of a straight line because it's much easier. So 35 over 8 is equals to half 35 over 8 plus 4. Okay, therefore if you put all of this into your calculator, it's giving 99 all over 16. Please guys, don't stress yourself with these fractions, just put them on your calculator as they are and allow your calculator to deal with this. Therefore our y value at k, therefore the coordinates of k would have to be 35 over 8, 99 all over 16. All right, and that's how you would deal with a question like this one. So moving right along to 7.6 says write down the values of x for which f of x is less than 0. Okay, for which f of x is less than 0, I explained this last time on the question 6 of November 2020. I said the x-intercept is a barrier line that separates the positive and the negative. Upwards is positive, and then down here it's negative for any given type of a function. So where is this function of f of x less than 0? Is this part here. Okay, they are referring to this part here, guys. I'm coloring it. There you go. All right, so we know this part is when x is greater than 1, and then when x is less than -3. So you can just come here and say when x is greater than 1, and therefore when x is less than 3. You can write them like this, guys, and you should be able to get full marks. All right, good stuff. Oh, and by the way, this is 7.6.1. okay, moving right along, 7.6.2. it says that for which values of x is g of x greater or equal to 0, greater or equal to 0. So therefore it's where you have got a positive divided by a positive number. It should be that, or in an instance where you have got negative divided by a negative. There you go. I have heard some people saying it's where somebody explained it like this. They said it's where this graph of f of x is on top of g. Okay, I think that also works, eh? Yeah, you can analyze it like that, where the f of x is on top of the g. So let's come here and have a look at here. We're starting from 0, going that side, it is greater than. So basically what you're doing here, you are referring to this point here, you know, at this point here. So we need to go and record this, okay, up until here. Okay, so what we can say here, we can say when x is greater than 8. Yes, when x is greater than negative 8 there. Okay, and then what else? And then when x is less than 1, and when x is less than 1. Okay, you can write it like this in bracket. You can say a negative x or 1, therefore including that 1 there. And then there are other values as well, where x in this side here, this side here. Okay, oh, sorry about that. Okay, and there's that side there. So therefore in that instant you are gonna have x greater than 3, and therefore to infinity, because it goes on forever and ever, guys. So therefore you can also write it like that. I chose to write this one like this because 7.6 I wrote it with the inequality. You can also write the brackets. It doesn't matter, guys, as long as the values that you are referring to are correct. Just look at your graph and then you should be able to get this one right. All right, so moving along to 7.7. okay, write down the graph of f. If is shifted 3 units downwards and 2 units to the right, it forms a graph of h of x. Write down the equation of h in the form of that. Okay, all right, so it is still a parabola. So therefore we know the turning point here in this graph. We already know d. So 7.7 d, remember d is 2 is to negative 4 over 3. So therefore in this case what we can do, we can say, okay, h of x is going to be given by a. We already know what is a. We calculated a last time there. It was 4 over 3. So our a value 4 over 3 in brackets x minus the turning point is going to be minus 2 here squared, and therefore plus or minus q. In this case it's a minus, it's a 4 over 3, because these are the turning points. So in the turning point this is p, and therefore this is q. Don't forget this, guys, very, very critical for one to understand that. So this is our equation. So now we need to do the shift now. All right, okay, so let's do the shift here. Actually this is g, because we have not shifted it. It will become h of x after shifting. Okay, let's come here and do the shift. They said 2 units downwards. So when you shift downwards, you are shifting on the x-axis, right? So it's going to be x minus 2. They said you shift 2 units downwards, so minus 2 here, close bracket, minus 4 over 3. And then they said you shifted 3 units down. Okay, 2 units to the right. No, this is not down, it's to the right. 2 units to the right, you must put it as a negative. If they said 2 units to the left, it was going to be a positive number. So now just to remember that when it comes to the shifting, it's a positive and a negative number. All right, so now it says here we need to shift to 3 units down. 3 units down, therefore down is down, is going to be minus 3. So therefore we need, after simplifying this, therefore now this can become our new equation of h, 4 over 3, close bracket, x minus 4, close 2. Okay, and therefore once you simplify this fraction, minus 4 over 3 minus 3 is going to give you minus 1 over 3 divided by 3. Okay, minus 1 3 divided by 3, and that will be our new equation. All right, so 7.8 is said that the graph of jx is given by that a x minus 8 in such that it passes through this point here of minus 4 is to 0. Then they say determine the value of a. Simple and straightforward. I think they've already given us a go ahead here. They said j x is equals to a x minus 8 Okay, and then they said at that point there's a point here minus 4 and is to 0, so therefore our x is, when x is minus 4, y is 0. So therefore y is 0. We're gonna come here, a, x is minus 4 minus 8, take 8 to that side here, then we can simplify. It's going to be 8 is equals to minus 4a divided by minus 4 divided by minus 4, and therefore it's going to be negative 2. All right, great stuff. And that's how you would find that value of a. And then it says describe the transformation of the graph of g. Okay, so this is the graph of a straight line. Actually, this j is a graph of a straight line. So let's come here, say 7.8.2. So the question said we need to describe the transformation. So g of x, what was g of x initially? G of x was written by this. It was half x plus 4. So now this one, j of x is minus 2 x minus 8. Okay, so what happened here? We just need to describe the transformation. All right, so what happened here was, let me see, let's have a look at this graph here. Okay, what happened here was the graph of g was rotated 90 degrees. I know there's many ways to do this, guys. I just chose this way. It was rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Yeah, because I'm taking this from trigonometry. All right, and that's how you would have gotten to this equation. And then also after rotating it, it was also therefore shifted. It was shifted. Okay, shifted, that's D. It was shifted 4 units to the right, so that you can get that minus 8 there. And that's how you would have dealt with this question, guys. It was a question of question 7 November 2022. I am Gaston Mapala. Let me see you on the next upload where we'll be doing question 7 November 2021.